once again. Once again, yeah, I have my mic off. I don't know. I do dumb things. I'm inspired by procedures sometimes. Okay, let's go now to Dragon Slayer, the Legend by Sharif. I'm going to check on if he's ready, and we're good to go.
Okay, cool. Yeah, I just want to make sure that the audio balance is good. Alright, well, I'm going to keep talking. I think we're a little too low here. Am I live? Alright. Hi, everybody. Are we live? I'm live? This is good stuff. Okay. Alright, we're live. So, hi, everybody. Welcome to the Sharif block. Alright. This is good stuff. So, this is we have a lot of time. This is a 40-minute estimate game, but my PB is 16:13, so it's going to be, that gives you some sort of idea how this game is. So this is, Dragon's Lair, the Legend. It's part of the famed Dragon's Lair series. This is part of the Dragon's Lair series. You might know it from, like, I don't know, the arcade games or whatever. This is a little different. It's a little different. It's not going to be what you expect. Joining me on commentary is Corndan, not because he has lots of very interesting things to say about the run, because the run is pretty simple, but just because I like company during the minecart stages. With that, I think we'll get started right now. It's gonna be exactly, yes, Faizu knows what's up. Okay, yeah, so we will start right now in 3, 2, 1, and go. Alright, so let's talk about what just happened. I jumped up a waterfall. We died. I'm gonna reset. Alright, I'm gonna do the Brosenter thing and reset. It's fine, don't worry about it. Everything's fine. There is no Dragon's Lair, the Legend on Twitch, so don't worry about that. So it's all good. It's fine. So yeah, so I jumped up a waterfall. That's gonna be a theme in this. So 3, 2, 1, and go. 2, 3, 4, 5. Alright, we're good. Okay, so what happened there? I jumped up a waterfall. Well, everything in this game has collision. Every single piece of... Oh, I died again. That's fine. We'll just keep that death. It's fine. It is a port of the game Roller Coaster for the ZX Spectrum, and that game is actually quite beloved. This game is not as beloved. Everything has collision, so this is essentially not a Dragon's Lair game as such, in the sense that there's no dragons and there's no lair. We can barely hear Corndan or me? Oh yeah, I can boost him up here. Hold on, let me... Just do that now. We have time. This is not a big deal. Let's right-click on you. User volume. Let's pump you way up. How about now? We're good?
Are we good, guys?
Is that better? Alright, I'm fine, but Corndan is very, very low. Alright. Anyway, so we're gonna actually continue playing the video game now. So yeah, so this is an exploration game. Now I can tell someone is talking. Perfect. This game is very misleading. You can ask Skittlebrow. Skittlebrow is the other person who runs this game. He had this game as a kid. So if you look at if you want to go and look up the cover of this game, you see Dirk holding Princess Daphne with a sword, fighting off a dragon in his lair. All five of those things is incorrect. The only thing that's semi-correct is that Dirk is in this game. There is no dragon, there is no lair, there's no Princess Daphne, Dirk does not ever have a weapon. What you're trying to do is you're trying to collect these life stones. You've seen these things I've been collecting. It's purely a platformer. You know how the Game Boy has like an A button and a B button? So A jumps and B jumps. So this is purely a platforming game, and we're trying to collect these life stones to resurrect the giant dormant knight. And we do have to collect all. Oh, I forgot how to play this video game. And we're trying to collect all of the life stones, all 194. There's only one. Oh wow, we may have gotten the soft lock early here. Let's do it. Ready? Oh, we're fine. We did not get the soft lock. So we're trying to resurrect the dormant knight by collecting life stones. We have to collect all of them. So you might have noticed that I skipped a few in the minecart section. That's because that big, oopsies, that big tree you saw, that's the actual beginning of the game. The game starts us a quarter of the way through the game. And so you have to backtrack, go a quarter of the way through the game, and then now we have to retrace all of our steps. Now we're going to go back in reverse for about 4 minutes. It's real good.
So while we're doing that, let's talk about the version of the game that you're running.
Yes. So if you look at the category, it's Beat the Game EU. So I'm running the European version of the game. This is a tough jump, so we're gonna hopefully not die. We died. It's fine. I have lots of time, so if I have to start over, that's okay. You guys remember the ooze from yesterday? And he says, and she said that she finishes the game maybe 25% of the time. I finished, I don't know.
About that.
Something like that. I finished maybe a little less than 25% of the time. So I'm giving myself 2 shots at it, basically. But yeah, so I'm playing the European version of the game. The European version of the game, mostly, the big reason... People will say that it's an easier game, but the big reason I play this is because it's orange compared to the American green. That's definitely the reason I play this. In reality, there are so many differences in gameplay that I actually actually have 2 separate categories on the leaderboard. So I run the European version, and Skittlebrow runs the American version. That is significantly more difficult. The biggest difference is that long deaths kill you, and long jumps cause death. And in this game, you've seen me fall a very long ways and not die. And that's the main reason why I run this version of the game.
It's a lot more forgiving in a game that's already not forgiving.
Yeah, exactly.
And so any little thing you can do to basically let you complete runs is a good thing.
Oh yes, I should say. So you get 10 lives with no continues. So that's it. There are no continues. If I die 10 times, I have to start the whole game over again. I mean, if you look at my Twitch username, it's the green, but not Game Boy green. I like lime green. Game Boy green is not very good. It's pretty gross. So the other big advantage that you get in the the other big advantage in the European version is you get extra lives every once in a while. So every X number of life stones, you get an extra life.
50, right?
It's something like that. You get like 4 or 5 over the course of the run. That is an intentional death. We have 5 lives already. This is not going well. That's okay, because I'm enjoying myself, and you guys seem to be enjoying yourselves too, and that's what matters. Yeah, I can pump up Corn Dan even more, but it doesn't sound like they can really hear you that well. But you can keep me company, and that's what matters, and I'll just relay what you're saying.
I'm pumping up everything I can here.
Oh, there we go. We're working on it.
We're working on it, guys.
Enjoy is such a strong word. Yeah, I know. You're experiencing this. It's an experience, okay? So this was the 3rd of 5 minecart stages. I call the last Eagle stage the minecart stage too, because it's an auto-scroller, basically.
It's another roller coaster from the original game.
Exactly. This is a Ferris wheel. This is also the best. This is the best screen in the game to do fast. So we just finished the Valley of the Sphinx, and we're going to the dungeons. So you can kind of call this a lair if you want to. There's like one half of one lair in this game right here. This is it. The other differences between the American and European versions is that the European versions are slightly more forgiving just in general. There are sections that are made a little bit easier. There are the minecarts stay inactive for long enough that you can jump on and off of them for anything without for more than a frame without them actually zipping off, which is nice. You'll see a part of this where there's an opening that's literally 2 dirks wide. In the American version, it's 1 dirk wide, and it's impossible. I don't know how Skittlebrow plays this game. It's really, really hard. There's a lot of parts of this.
So, I don't know how any of you guys play this game.
It took me, with save state practice, it took me, the first time I beat this game, it took me 15 hours? Some stupid thing. There we go. So the reason that happens in this version is because that's the last big difference between the American and European versions. In the American version, if you hold down jump, he'll jump infinitely, but you have to repress jump every single time in the European version. And a funny side effect of that is that during that slide, it looks like he's trying to stop sliding over and over and over again. The sound effects were spot on. Yep. There we go. There you go. That's the only woo-doo-doo-doo-doo. But all my games have sound effects, so you're fine. You'll get more sound effects later.
Oh yeah, from Barbie.
Yeah, Barbie. It's a good sound effect. Yeah. That's not a bad game. This is a bad game. Anyway, yes. So lots of different things. This is the part of the game where this is a. Okay, we're good. You get one frame to jump out of infinite death loops like that. So this is
like it, and I struggled with this the first time I played it.
Yeah.
But those are spiked death pillars. And
Yes.
It just looks like it's something in the background.
Yeah. So there's everything again. Once again, absolutely everything has collision. This is in the American version. This is maybe the hardest screen in the whole game. In this version, it's not quite as bad because you can fall. Sometimes it's okay, so let's explain how collision works in this game. Everything has collision if you're jumping onto it, but if you start walking onto it, you'll sink into everything, especially moving platforms, and sometimes it's actually to your advantage to start sinking into the platform. In the American version, that's a death, but in this version, it's not. And so this is the opening I was talking about. That's 1 Dirk wide. It's exactly his width to the frame, to the pixel. It's real good. Or else you die immediately because you fall off the moving platform. So yeah, another big issue with falling through platforms is during minecart stages. Those are moving platforms. Minecarts are the roller coasters, and you start falling through the roller coaster. And sometimes if you've fallen too far down into the minecart, you will just fall down onto the track and die. Let's talk about death in this game. There are no enemies, as you might have figured out, because we haven't encountered an enemy yet, and we're more than halfway through the game. Okay. And so there's basically one way to die, and that's falling on spikes. There are 2 types of spikes. There's the thin spikes. I have to get this guy. Okay. There are thin spikes, like the ones you're seeing right here, and then there's the fat spikes, like you saw in the cells. That's a death. I have 3 lives. This is actually not going well. Including winning, yes. And then the fat spikes basically tick down your health bar. Where's this health bar, you're asking right now? I'm also asking that same question. It's not visible on the screen, and it resets every screen. So it's a rough thing here. So this is another minecart stage. This is the last real minecart stage. It's also the hardest one. You have to take 2 intentional deaths here because I'm incapable of making a frame pixel perfect jump. That's coming up here.
Are you gonna try for it anyway?
Absolutely not. I don't have enough lives. It's right here. So grabbing that second life stone without hitting the vertical bar is pixel perfect. And I've done it once in like 1,200 tries. So how did I come across this game? Okay, so yeah, we're gonna go off the back here and come back because basically every screen's a jump. This is the hardest jump in the game. All right. So that may have saved the run right there. That's the hardest jump in the entire game right there. So basically, the strat here is every single screen is a checkpoint, excluding minecarts. So you have to finish the minecart stage, exit out the back, and then come back and get these last 2 so you can actually finish that. So this is the laggiest screen in the game because it's the laggiest screen in the game.
There's a lot of stuff on this screen.
Yeah, so this game actually doesn't suffer from lag really that much. Oh, that's unfortunate. It doesn't matter. Time is not... Surviving is what matters here, not time. This is just I want to finish the game. So this game doesn't have a lot of lag, so that's nice. It's the, I don't know, one of 2 good things about it. It's also better than Castlevania for the NES because you can control your jump both in direction and velocity. Welcome to the cemetery. This is the cemetery. You can see because those are ghosts. So I claim that this is better than Castlevania. So
It's definitely better than Castlevania for the Game Boy.
yes, and Castlevania for DOS as well. So yeah, Castlevania for the Game Boy is something. So we're gonna grab. Oh, are we gonna grab this? It's fine. I don't have 4 lives anyway. I have to like not die for the rest of the game. All right, so this is one of the very, very dangerous stages in the game. I'll explain why once we get there. Once we're done with it, because I have to concentrate. All right. So you might be asking, how did I start playing this game? Noted electrofart expert Pesmerga255, we were having a conversation about bad video games, and I said that Dragon's Lair for the NES is one of the worst games I've ever played, which is still true. And he went, whoa, ho, ho. If you think if you think that Dragon's Lair for the NES is bad, try Castlevania for the Game Boy. Also, okay, so if you fall down the bottom of that screen, you end up on the first screen of the game, and it's a 4-minute time loss. So that's why it was dangerous. So I found it on eBay for $4, and I said, okay, I'll buy it for $4. I'm a video game collector, and so I might as well grab the game. And I played it when I grabbed it. The first day I bought it, the first day it showed up. I keep saying Castlevania. Castlevania Boss is the best. Sorry, I have Castlevania on the brain. I played this game on my GBA SP, and I game overed on the very first screen of the game. I took all 10 lives, died on that first screen where I jumped up the waterfall. I didn't know you could jump up waterfalls, and so I just died 10 times. This is the hardest screen in the game, so I'm just going to concentrate for a second here. I missed that jump. I don't know if it... 1, 2. Alright, so this is a very precise jump right here. Jump right as he turns around. Or not. Everything's fine, guys. No need to worry. Good job. Okay, I don't know if I can finish this.
Where they're in contact with each other, can you walk from one to the other?
Yes, you technically can. But it's actually harder than jumping, so you can just as easily fall through is the problem. All right, so that's a game over, which is unfortunate. So, do we want to? So this is a 40-minute. This is why I had a 40-minute time slot. Okay. Also, this is the only reference to Daphne in the whole game is on the leaderboard. So we get another stab at it. We good? All right. Let's try again. Should I just reset and start over? Why not? All right.
Yeah.
This is why this is a 40-minute time slot, because I don't finish the game. And so, awesome. We got time. Let's go. Besides, the other 2 games are going to fall under estimate anyway. Hopefully.
Skittlebrow is right. This is one of the hardest platformers on the game.
It's very, very difficult. It's just... The big problem with it is that you, is that you don't really have... Oh, wow. You don't really have great control. Can Corndan be louder? Let's do that. We're just this is not a speed run. This is a speed something or other. I have it completely maxed out. Talk now.
All right, is this better?
Hello. I've up. So this Corndan is at 200% and is completely full. Is this it? We did it. Better.
We did it. We did it.
Yes. You can hear Corndan now. Okay, so we can have a conversation. Sweet. All right, let's restart.
We can have a conversation.
200% corn. Exactly. All right.
We were having a conversation. They can just now hear it.
It was a one-sided conversation where I'm a crazy person who plays Dragon Lair the Legend for fun.
That's not actually that far off the mark.
That's exactly correct. People come to my stream when I play this and they just sort of feel sorry for me. Corn runs right through you.
I feel sorry for you, as much as amazement that you run this.
Yeah, so let's finish the story of how I started running this game. So I definitely drove Sharif to talking to himself. I do talk to myself, it's not okay. I game overed on that very first screen with the waterfall, and so I tried again, and so the second time I got after a few tries I got to the top with the rhino, and then the whole game hard locked. This is going way better already. How about that, guys? And so at that point I'm like, okay, no, I have to finish the game. I have to beat this game. And so I beat it with save states, and Skittlebrow showed up to one of my streams. He's like, I run this game. I am the only person who runs this game. And so we were kindred souls. And he sort of showed me a bunch of little tricks, and I found one run on YouTube that's very long and bad, but helped me figure out timing for jumps and stuff. Because the interesting thing about the jumping in this game is that Dirk, he jumps a little bit slower than these minecarts, and he also has that recoil, and so you have to be at the very front of the minecart, and then jump like as hard as you can to land at the very back of the minecart. I missed that for some reason. I was nervous. And so like learning how to make this believe it or not, I've made this game look difficult. I've made it look easier than it actually is. Also doing this with commentary is pretty difficult, which is why I had someone here to sort of then probably forget. Oh, we did this again. Wow, that just doesn't ever happen. There we go. We're fine.
I would say it never happened. It's never happened before.
It's not. No, it has happened plenty of times. There's actually a version. There's a version of that death that is actually an infinite death loop. I'm gonna show off an infinite death loop at the end, or I can at least explain where it is. But yeah, you get one frame to jump out of infinite death loops, but there are certain ones where you just cannot jump out of it at all. Oh, don't die again. I'm so angry.
Yeah, so the game this was based on, well, it's not based on, this is a reskin.
It's a reskin of, no.
Roller Coaster
again.
ZX Spectrum.
This is just going perfectly. It's called Roller Coaster for the ZX Spectrum. This is the last reset we're gonna have here. Why did somebody sub to me now? I don't have the words. What? This is it. How far in are we? Oh yeah, we're 20 minutes in. We're fine. My PB is 16:13. Everything's fine. Shh.
Everything is fine.
I have to give you an idea of how many. So I've attempted, I'd say maybe 800 attempts. Last reset. This is the last reset. So I've about 800 attempts. I have like 15 documented finishes. A lot of that has to do with like the first 300 times me never finishing. So I'd say now especially with this new monitor, I finished like maybe a quarter of them. Okay, so that's a perfect start. Shout out to Skittlebrow for showing me that strat, because that screen used to be impossible, and now it's like not. Yeah, this is a straight reskin. So this is a little Ferris wheel. So I can just point out things. So anytime you see like weird moving platforms like these bees right here, that's it. This is absolutely a Ferris wheel. You can see it even.
Right, the minecart's clearly the roller coaster.
Yeah. Oh yeah, the minecarts are all roller coasters. I wonder what the eagle at the end is that we'll probably never see because I'm not gonna finish this video game. I also can't set up like save states or anything because I'm actually on original hardware. I'm on a Super Game Boy too. So we're praying. This is your guys' fault for accepting this super marathon safe game, obviously.
It's an entertaining run, at least.
It is. It's something. It's entertaining in that it has no content, except for impossible platforming.
And no context.
There's nothing. I was just so very confused. But there legitimately is no dragon. There is no dragon at the end of this game. I promise you will not see a dragon or a lair.
Or Princess Daphne. Or swords.
No, there's nothing. There's no... This is not... I'm glad people are entertained by whatever's happening here. That should be good. Oh, should have been good. This is rarely an issue for me. This area is not usually like a huge issue for me, but it has been. Is there a legend? Yes, it's the legend of the Dormant Knight. That's the whole thing. That's the only thing that I this should have been a different video game. It also shouldn't never have been a video game.
Well, they should have just released it as roller coaster.
Yeah, that'd have been fun. There's no stakes, don't have any lives, don't have any life stones. Just like explore an amusement park. That sounds fun. I want to go to an amusement park right now. In fact, I'm just gonna cancel this run and go to an amusement park. This is barely a video game as it is, exactly. Oh boy. I also will note that I'm not good at video games. This is like a known thing about me. So, This just took a lot of... It's just practice. It just took a lot of practice.
Well, as you said, like 800 runs.
There you go.
So,
Oh, the dangerous. Sorry.
my guess, to your point, you had to get used to that Dragon Slayer license. They probably had to use it or get rid of it.
Yeah, and so they just kept it, and then they used it on Dragon's Lair 3D, which is a perfect video game as well, because 3DO only has perfect video games.
Absolutely.
I'm a big fan of 3DO. Maybe I'll run a 3DO game. It sounds like a good idea.
We run one last year.
There was a 3DO game last year? What was it?
It was. A showcase percent of Demolition Man.
Oh, that's perfect. This should have been showcase percent. Why did I call this a speedrun? Because beat the game is sort of over-ambitious, I would say. Oh, boy. Yes. So anytime you take damage from the we'll actually talk about the game for 3 seconds here. Whenever you take damage from those fat spikes, the whole screen flashes like in a very kind of seizure-inducing way. That means you're taking damage. You have, I don't know, 50 bajillion health, so you can take a lot of damage before you actually die.
Yes. Yeah, this is no longer an E% run. This is a tour the game as best as possible percent.
Maybe perhaps finish percent. Here we go. So this is intentional death number 1. We still have all 9 lives. This is going way better. 50 bajillion. No, it's an exact number. Exactly 50 bajillion. I did the math.
It's an engineering number.
Bajillion. It's like 10 to the...
Yeah.
People know. The real engineers out there will know what I'm talking about. This is a fantastic use of my time. Alright, so yeah, this is a roller coaster, as you can see by everything about it. Whee! Jump. Don't jump out of roller coasters. Dirk is a bad example. Do not do what Dirk does. Do not make video games.
Well, I don't think Dirk made this video game.
I'm gonna say it's his fault. I'm gonna say it's Dirk's fault. I blame Don Bluth for letting this happen.
That may actually be a legitimate complaint.
Whee! Oh, it's a log ride. Okay. I need to get a ZX Spectrum and play this game now, clearly. Make this jump, that's a really tough jump. Okay, this is going far better. I'm glad I had such a high estimate. Now, I was kind of regretting it, because when I submitted this game, my PB was 2143. Omega number is a very large number. But now my PB is 1613. Okay, we have to stop dying here. Are we on the same page here? Do we agree that I should stop dying here?
You should stop dying, yeah.
Ah, sweet. Thanks. Thanks for your moral support. I appreciate it.
I mean, it would help.
So yeah, the reason this game is infuriating, it's actually, I don't know if it's as bad as the NES Dragon's Lair. Anybody who's played both games, like, it's definitely a toss-up. This game moves faster than NES Dragon's Lair, but at least...
I think they're both bad games for different reasons.
Yeah. At least NES Dragon's Lair is a Dragon's Lair game. You see Dirk, he's a ginormous sprite, he throws infinite daggers, like, it's great. But he just moves so slowly. It's also a much shorter run than this. I think it's like a 7-minute run or something. Anyway, we get to hear the sound effect again anyway. Alright, we're good. I only passed set theory. Was too kind. Set theory's hard, man. I have a math degree for reference, so 50 bajillion is a real number. That was not how that's supposed to work, but it worked. Alright. So we are sort of getting back to where we were here. So this is the end of the dungeons right here. He throws infinite Dirks. Oof. Can't do arithmetic, known fact. I'm actually known among my math friends as the guy who can't do arithmetic. Believe it or not. This is true.
Calculus.
There we go. Alright, so we're gonna end up at the cells again. So we're making good time this time. Oh boy. Yep. Does anybody have any questions for me? We covered most of the things I wanted to cover. Is there anything I'm missing? I don't even know. Is there anything confusing about this game other than why I'm running it? Yeah, so the reason there's so many like death warps and stuff in this game is that this game is actually kind of interesting in that every I don't actually know how to do this properly. Ooh, okay, we're fine. Did you have runs where you get to the end but missed a stone somewhere? That has happened once. I had a 193 run. I also had a run where I got all 194 stones and then died right before the end. That would have been still world record because it was sub 16. What is Bugsy? What is Pugsy? Pugsy is the internal manifestation of my aura when I play this game. Whee! All right. But yeah, oh yeah, so the way the game works with checkpoints is that it records a bunch of stuff. It records your location, it records your direction, it records your velocity, and so you basically come into the screen exactly how you exited the previous screen, like this. Whee! So I'm still jumping. And so the weird result of that is that if you jump into death, it will just continue to happily continue you jumping into death forever. It's perfect.
I mean, the checkpoints are basically a save state.
Yeah, it's effectively, they just have save states for you. It's just you only have 10 lives. This game, this run's going a lot better. The jitters are gone because there's nothing. There's no face to save. We're just chit-chatting here. We're just a bunch of friends playing the proper spectrum. Exactly. They didn't change anything about the game except for why the other game was good and why this is not. All right, cool. So yeah, that's basically why death warps. So the most famous, I don't, most famous is a strong word. Okay, hardest jump of the game. See? Let's not lose all our lives here.
You got this.
All right, we're good. That stone is actually an extra life stone, so there you go. It's unclear. We actually don't know if it's specific stones or if it's every number of stones, just because we get the stones in the same order every time. Phrasing, I don't care about phrasing. It's fine. And jump. All right, so we have 6 lives. That's much better than the 2 or 3 we had coming out of this. So, laggiest screen of the game. It's a set number of stones. That seems like the most likely thing.
I would assume that too, but I mean, given everything else that you would just assume about this game.
Yeah, there's no way to actually know.
Yeah, it's a very difficult, but yes, it could be either or, and
yeah, dying here was kind of unfortunate because that's a really easy screen, but that's okay. We have 5 lives. We have positive vibes. Everything's fine. We get Barbie coming up. Everything is okay with the world. It's a weird way to spend a Saturday morning, I'll have to say though.
I mean, by weird you mean amazing?
Oh, it's perfect. It's absolute perfection. I love BBG. Thank you guys for having me on. I really appreciate this. All the Kuzo the Kuzo people. It's a very nice group of guys, gals, people in general. And I just appreciate you being so inclusive and welcoming to newer faces. Let's not do that. Okay, everything's fine. Crisis averted. I may have actually would have gone over estimate had that happened, so let's not do that at all. Welcome to the Petrified Forest.
We're getting pretty close to where we were at when we died.
Yeah, we're getting there. I think it's like 2 screens away, maybe.
Something like, yeah, pretty close.
Yeah, so if you fall on this screen right here, if you fall down in that water, it takes you 13 screens back. No, more. 15 screens back. And it's a 4-minute time loss. I timed it out once just for funsies.
I'm amazed it's only 4 minutes.
Yeah, well, because the difficulty in this game is actually getting the stones. A lot of the platforming you can just skip if you don't need the stones. Like in this level, you can just jump up here, and that's it, right?
Oh, yeah.
So a lot of the difficulty comes from actually grabbing the stones. So what took me 14 minutes takes me 4 minutes with no stones, basically. I'm gonna concentrate. You guys forgot the one thing.
one thing.
Everything has collision. Darn it. That sucks. Let's not do it. Go over here this way. This is the ghost jump level. I call it the Gilder Walk stage because my friend the Great Gilder Sneeze was in my chat when he suggested. We're gonna do this slightly. We're improvising here.
Maybe a safer way of.
Safe is a strong word because if I fall in this pit, I go 8 screens back, and it's a 40-second. We're just gonna do this. Oh yeah, the signs are great. They also tell you where you are. It's. I just take this.
I mean, you still have 3 lives left.
Everything's fine, guys. We did it! Hooray!
You still effectively took the death.
Yeah, yeah, that's basically what happened. Let's not fall, though. Alright, so now we're going to look at what the rest of the game is. So, this is another one of these things where you're going under the stage for one exact... for one life stone. So you get to see the crypt, and you get to see the Lake of the Dead. Those are 2 of the last 3 screens of the game. I have 2 lives or 3? 3? Oh, we're fine.
3.
That's totally fine. Let's just not screw up the crypt, alright? Yeah, so there's 3 levels left. Warning. It's trying to keep me away from the Dormant Knight, because you don't want to overraise it. So here's this guy right here. And instead of dealing with having to get on that, like, in that little area, getting on the moving platform and stuff, let's just take the, Don't worry about the no swimming. Effectively, the Lake of the Dead is just more big fat spikes, so we just walk on the Lake of the Dead. It's real great. I want Cake of the Dead.
What all is in the Lake of the Dead that you can just walk on it?
It's fat spikes that I can walk on. I have no idea. Also, the crypt is the same thing. You'd imagine the crypt, if you didn't get on the moving ball that's coming here, you would just die. But the answer is, oh, everything has collision. Not mess this up, guys. All right, everything's fine. Jump. Nope. Jump. God, this is scary. Okay. Well, we'll just go around. Everything's fine. Yep. This is a Spectrum era game that came out in 1992. Okay, we're going around again, guys. This is not about speed. This is about lives. The problem is that it's actually embedded in that skull, and so jumping here is just a little bit.
Yeah, you have to hit it just right.
We did it! Woo! Welcome to the Dead Lake. 50 bajillion. Yeah, I used like 48 bajillion of my 50 bajillion health there. Alright, so now I'm going to show you what happens when you walk on Dead Lake. The whole screen flashes. That's new, right? Okay. You guys are in for a little treat here. Remember how everything has collision? Let's walk on the clouds for a little bit here. There we go. So that's that. Yeah, it's very cryptic. So that falcon, this is the eagle is the end of the game. It's called the Evil Mountain. So here we go. A little bit of concentration here. So this is the last minecart stage.
I can kind of appreciate what they did with this, with the
That's an okay death. That's a very common death.
You know, I can get behind what they did to reskin the roller coaster as a mountain.
Yeah, they actually did a really good job with that. Like, there are good things about this game. By the way, we're done. But yeah, this is, they did, like, the graphics are not bad in this game, especially for Game Boy era. Like, they're not bad, and the music is whatever, right? It's not great or terrible. So that's the 194th crystal. And that's time. So there we go. So 2 runs is not bad. It took me, what, 4 tries? 4 resets?
Yeah.
So that's not bad. So this is the ending screen. This is all you get. Well done. You have succeeded in awakening the dormant knight. Together, you can face the evil of Mordrock's power another time, another place. The end. And then you get the same... So there you go, 194. So you know how there's a really complicated percentage on how you calculate the high score. It's basically the number of life stones you got times 100. So poor Dick at the bottom there only got 8. And Daphne got 23. But Mark was pretty good. Mark got 193, so there you go. So that was Dragon's Lair the Legend. I hope you enjoyed my struggles, and thank you, Corndan, for keeping me company. It was very, very appreciated. But next up, I'll be doing Barbie for the NES, which is a much easier game. So, oh yeah, we can go ahead and let's see. Bunch of question marks maybe.